I'm going to start with you. This is a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
This is absolutely fantastic. Where did you find the level of difficulty dealing with just the intense nature of the filming and the dialogue itself?
It's, I keep saying this to people, and I'm not sure if they're believing me, but this was my first movie, and so I didn't have anything to compare it to. I thought it was absolutely normal that I was, all of the difficulties we sort of went through, I thought that was just how you made a film. Like, I never felt like the language was alienating. I actually thought that it was something that really soothed me and spoke to me, and I understood, like, kind of the undulations of how it went, and the costumes and everything of, how Rob really built this world for us just made it really easy to play in there and to really believe it and to commit to this sort of idea of, like, this is my life, this is how I do things, and this is who I am. And it was just marvelous.
Oh, yeah, it really is. And first film, that's risky. That's risky for a filmmaker to take on, especially this intensive a film. How did you know?
Well, Anya had something special. She clearly couldn't be a good Puritan, and she has a very enigmatic quality. Like, I can stick the lens 2 inches from her nose, and you don't quite know what she's thinking, but you want to as an audience, which is very crucial. And the thing is, like, people ask a lot about, like, in general, like, how is it with the language, because I was really fortunate to, be able to cast whoever I wanted in this film. Like, anyone who couldn't do the language, I didn't cast. So people who, they just understood it, everyone, down to Lucas, the 6-year-old.
I like what you do with this film, and I think it's kind of unusual, the way you build dread. There's scenes where the score builds, everything builds, but it's such a simple climactic, almost anticlimactic, but it builds towards the final act. What was your thinking, and was that always the intention of having that kind of slow dread?
I want to have the, a slow burn never came into my head, that word, but that's what everyone uses. Happy birthday, that's fine with me. But, I was a very anxious kid who always was kind of like feeling like guilty and sick to my stomach, and I wanted to, like, create that oppressive quality. And one simple technique is you just try to end every single scene with "oh no," and if each "oh no" tops the last one, then you can kind of
What drew you to witchcraft and telling this specific story? I know you've been answering that a lot, but it is a fascinating story behind that.
Yeah, I'm from New England, and New England's past was always really part of my consciousness. Like, that sounds a little precious, but the thing is, like, if you've been to a rural New England town, you see all these dilapidated colonial farmhouses, graveyards in the middle of the woods. Like, clearly the white pine forest behind my house was haunted with the past, and for whatever reason, I can, see my therapist about it, but I've had, nightmares about witches since I was, forever through adulthood, and so having that, that inside me, I think made it so I could do a horror movie that was personal.
What about you? Did you have that kind of, growing up, did you have fears of the unknown, or were you a horror kind of girl?
Well, this is kind of funny. I wasn't very fearful. I would go into the woods looking for witches. Like, I wasn't afraid. I was obsessed with, and I still am, I love magic, and I was obsessed with this kind of idea that, in the forest behind my house or something like that, there are fairies or, witches or whatever, and so I'd just
This
go
is
out.
why she would be a bad Puritan.
I'd be a terrible Puritan. But I love magic, and so I'd always be, I had the sort of opposite of that, in the sense of, I don't know, the word witch to me has never felt frightening. It's always felt very sort of like, oh, okay, like, let's do it, sort of thing.